look at this clip as Ben Carson goes to visit the witches of The View. Take a listen.
A lot, but why did you endorse Donald Trump?
Well, you know, when I dropped out, my first choice went with me. But I said that.
It was you,
The witches of The View are laughing right now, but they won't be for long because Mr. Carson's about to shut it down.
You know, I was going to remain neutral. But then I realized that, you know, the political establishment was aligning to protect their turf. And they don't like the ideal of people who are not beholden to them and who cannot be controlled coming into Washington, D.C.
Absolutely. And this is the same reason why they can't stand Donald Trump, because he is not a part of the establishment. Have you not figured it out yet? This is why all of hell is coming after him, because he will not be a puppet like what we see right now, unfortunately, playing before our eyes in the White House. He can't be bought, and they don't like it one bit.
And that was one of the reasons they didn't like me very much, but I was easier to get rid of than Donald Trump.
Sir, I hate to ask this question, but you have aligned yourself with the man who has bashed women, made countless racist remarks, and you're Ben Carson. Why would you align yourself with that?
Well, you know, you have to look at the good and the bad. There is no perfect person.
No, I know that.
But you know, you look at when Donald Trump first went down to Palm Beach area, and you know, a lot of the clubs down there would not accept Jews and blacks. He insisted on Jews and blacks and helped to break that open. So has he said some things that I wouldn't say or that you wouldn't say? Of course.
But he was also sued by the Justice Department in the 70s for not allowing black tenants into his properties, and he settled with the Justice Department, even though he didn't admit any liability, any wrongdoing. It's very clear to those of us in the law.
These witches' heads are about to explode. Remember, we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities in high places.
That he is a fan of the African American community, I think is.
Well, I will put it this way: I have met a lot of his employees, including African Americans, and they have nothing but good things to say. Somebody who's hired as many people as he has hired, and you can find very few people who have anything negative to say.
Well, what about
and then you have to look at his family. I always say one of the ways that you measure a person is looking at their children. And how do their children act?
Well, one's a big game hunter. I'm not thrilled with that.
Well, I mean, that's your privilege. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, you know, they have been raised very well. They're very respectful. And, you know, I look at a lot of kids who come from very wealthy families, and I am appalled.
What Ben Carson is saying is so wise. And maybe it is a jab to the Biden family because their family has had so much corruption within. You don't have to go too far to understand there are some deep-rooted secrets within that family that are disturbing. But he's true in his statement that the Bible says, you know, if you can't lead your family well, why should I let you lead the church? Why should you lead anybody if you cannot even lead your own household? Because the truth be told, your household is your very first business. It's your very first corporation. If it's not done well, why in the world should you be running anything else?
What I see. So there is no perfect person, but what I think is really the worst thing that threatens our nation right now is a political class, a ruling class, and they are so threatened by anybody who is not beholden to them, they will do virtually anything. And I think that's what's likely to destroy.
You can say that till the cows come home, sir. This guy is, I'm sorry, he's a racist, and he's not good for the country.
What's the alternative?
Man. and these witches got upset, okay? They were about to explode. You can see that the spirit within these people are so disturbed, you all. She just couldn't keep herself composed or together. She was about to literally explode. But kudos to Ben Carson for actually going into the enemy's territory, because, woo, they were coming for him. They were gunning for him at every direction, but he stood his grounds.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. He's not said about
What about
the white supremacists. He hasn't really said to them, hey, listen, that's not what America stands for. He said, you know, it's too much. You're Ben Carson. You're so much better than this.
Well, I am Ben Carson. And that's the very reason I'm doing this, is because I look at the big picture. Could I focus only on racial issues? Absolutely.
Go ahead, Ben Carson. He's basically saying all you all do is focus on divisive issues such as race, which you know will build emotion and cause people not to think straight. I love intelligent people. Keep going.
Focus only on women's issues? Absolutely. I could look at any one little thing and pick anybody apart on it. But right now, the nature of our country is at stake. We are on the precipice.
Exactly what we're
and
worried about.
we are determining what kind of nation we're going to be. Are we going to be a nation that's upformed by the people or upformed by the government? This is a choice that we are making right now.
Okay, if you're going to overlook what he says about women, if you're going to...
Witch Behar is trying to give Ben Carson a lesson on morality and says, you know, well, Trump has been accused of this, he lies about this, A, B, C, and D. And then we bring out Exhibit A. Take a look.
I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community. I had a very close relationship with the Greek American community, for real. I am Joe Bidenopoulos. I grew up in a heavily Irish Catholic community in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and a heavily Italian Polish community. When I say I got raised in the black church, he knows I'm not kidding. The Persian culture is amazing. As a student of Persian culture, I probably went to shul more than many of you. I come out of the black community. The background of my family is Irish American. Not fundamentally unlike the Palestinian people. I, you might say, raised in the synagogues in my state. Everyone in town was either Polish or Italian. I grew up feeling self-conscious. My name didn't end in an SKI. I was raised in a neighborhood where I felt self-conscious. My name didn't end in O. That's kind of how I was raised, like so many Americans of Irish heritage.
In HBCU, in your home state, was the president.
I mean, can't even forget about it. That's where I got raised, man. Just like rabbis, synagogues, and Jewish community centers in your hometown, and that's the tradition I got raised. Hard-working people, the middle class, the neighborhoods I got raised in. I was raised on GM. I was raised by Danny Inouye. I was raised by a righteous Christian. I got raised on automobiles.
Tell me a politician who doesn't tell lies.
Abraham Lincoln. I don't know.
A current day politician.
But the lying that he does is continuous. It's on a regular basis.
At a recent campaign rally, Donald Trump shared some of his thoughts about, let's just say, President Biden's stories.
And he can't play. And he said the other day, it's all disinformation. I'll play Trump anytime. I'll give him 3 aside. He's going to give me 3 aside. Did you ever see him swing? He's like this. The guy, I don't believe he can hit a ball 50 yards. I know sports very well, and I know golf very well, and I know good golfers. I can look at a guy take a practice swing before the round starts. I can tell you whether or not he or she can play. This guy has no, and he said, they asked him what his handicap is. I'm a 6.2. You know, 6.2 is a very good player. He's a 6.2. It's got to be that extra little 0.2. You know, like I've never even heard of it. I played only about 40 frickin' years. I've never heard of a 6.2. I've heard of a 6. I've heard of a 7. But I've never heard of a 6.2. But he wants to make it like accurate. You know, like in other words, like it exists. He's all about disinformation. Pilots come in. He said, I used to fly a plane. Truckers come in. I used to drive a truck. People come in from Minnesota. I used to live in Minnesota. Right? He is so full of shit, this guy. Terrible.
What I have to do is look at Who is most likely to oppose the ruling class that is ruining our country?
Yeah.
You have seen.
Well, I have seen a man who's actually willing to sit down and engage in deep, serious conversations about the problems that affect our country.
Well, why is he holding out on America?
I have seen a man who actually recognizes that he doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We made it to the end, and I hope that you all enjoyed the the interview, and you got some insights more so about Ben Carson, because I just think he's an amazing man of faith, an amazing man of God. And if you haven't checked out his story, I did a video about him maybe a few days ago, so maybe you can go and watch that, because it's really interesting. It's so inspiring. And yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my evening. I have had fun today putting these videos together. I've done a lot of them today, right? There's been so much to talk about in the current news, and I didn't want to just do one big old video, so I had to just do several videos. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you found them interesting. And I am going to get some rest. I'm going to spend some time with my family, watch a movie, eat some popcorn, and just enjoy the rest of the day, because your girl has been busy. I have been busy making all these videos today. I did get a chance to go take my oldest. We went to go have a lunch, and that was fun. We went to go have ice cream and catch up. And then my middle one, I helped him put a floral arrangement. I did a short about that. Y'all, let me tell y'all, I came home from our little lunch date with my oldest, and he was putting his little flowers together, and he had everything organized, and he was just trying to cut the little stems. He was trying to make everything right. I had to help him, but I just thought it was so sweet. He was just trying to get flowers for his girlfriend, and he wanted everything to be perfect. It made my little mommy heart. I felt good about it, but then I felt like, oh, whoa, you're my boo-boo, and now I gotta share my poo-poo. I gotta share my boo-boo. Oh my goodness, so yeah. But anyways, you all have a wonderful evening. You moms know how it is. Your sons, you're their first love, and then when you have to kind of like hand them off to someone else, it's just like woo woo woo. All right, guys, I love you. Bye.